Lots of people don't like talking about this, but I do cover it because for me, it's just about covering the truth. Of course, I'm a monarchist, I'm a royalist, but I do also cover the truth. So for people who don't like that, sure, block your ears. Breaking today, Prince Harry is planning to set up a rival royal court to Prince William, his own brother, after lobbying the hard left Labour government and specifically the Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood to review his security protection. This is something the bloke has been banging on about for years, and it comes with serious implications for the British royal family. Here's the revelation in today's Sun. Prince Harry has won a Home Office review of the decision to strip him of 24-hour armed protection on visits to the UK. The U-turn could pave the way for a reunion between the King and grandkids Archie and Lilibet, who live in the US. Charles last saw them in June 2022 during Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee celebrations, but Harry has since said it's not safe for them to visit Britain. The Duke of Sussex blamed an establishment stitch-up because he's a paranoid android after losing a High Court fight this year to reinstate his taxpayer-funded privilege. But the Sun can reveal the Home Office has now ordered a threat assessment for the first time since Harry stepped down as a working royal in 2020. The Royal and VIP Executive Committee, otherwise known as RAVEC, has now instructed its Risk Management Board to reassess his threat level for the first time in nearly 6 years. It is understood the process is already underway, with evidence taken from police, government and Harry's team. A decision is expected next month from the government body, which is overseen by the Home Office. If it rules he requires armed protection, then taxpayers would pay for it whenever he is in the UK. But here's the disturbing revelation from Tom Sykes of the Royalist Substack today. He knows Harry's real plans, and it is to create a rival court to William after years of battling and lobbying, effectively allowing him to rebuild a former UK base. Here's what he's reported. Prince Harry could beef up his UK operation, which would enable him to be in direct competition with his brother's court after his dream of having automatic state-funded police security in England moved a step closer. Lauren, the insider. Would the Home Office really have done this without the specific say-so of King Charles?
No. And Dan, do you remember in the summer I came on to your show and we talked about the pap shots, the leaked pap shots of Harry's aides and King Charles's aides at the ROSL club. And I said, this is a club that Charles is the patron of. The paper would never be allowed to run this because of certain privacy laws. And so this is when I knew Charles is pulling the strings. And if that is when they were willing to show us conversations happening in public, when did it start? I would take a wild guess, months and months and months before. And we've seen Harry go to Ukraine twice this year. Why would you go to Ukraine if you're worried about your security into a war-torn country? Absolutely ridiculous. We've seen the government use Princess Anne and the Duchess of Edinburgh to go. So I think there is a targeted strategy going on behind the scenes with the government, with King Charles, and with Prince Harry, because nothing is adding up. Prince Harry came into the country in September, he landed, and it was a fake royal tour. It was a bulletproof narrative. We saw all of the photographers like PA, Getty Images, there to provide the public with highly curated, glossy images, very different from the normal pap shots. We then saw this fake royal tour roll out, and all of a sudden the mainstream media were sycophantic about Harry. The return, homecoming, none of it made sense. And none of it made sense because Prince Harry has either sued or is suing the majority of the mainstream media. So they wouldn't just write about him positively. And that's why I said in the summer, this is coming from the top. And so my professional opinion is that Harry has been advised to be seen to be going through the official channels because Shabana Mahmood came into her role in September. And then in October, we see Harry put an official request in for this to be reviewed. And now, 2 months later, we're told, oh, it's underway. They've spoken to police, they've done this. Now, the Home Office, this is the same Home Office that are telling us on their official X account about they won't deport certain people, they won't do this, they won't do that. This is the same Home Office that have still not got a chair for the grooming gang inquiry. And that was announced in June. We are in January next year. Next month, sorry, is January. We still have no chair for this. So to me, I believe the palace, they've underestimated the public and they've underestimated the fact that we have eyes, we have ears, and we have brains, and we're connecting dots and we can see right through this.
Lauren, this does also, though, blow open once again. And lots of people don't like talking about this, but I do cover it because for me, it's just about covering the truth. Of course, I'm a monarchist, I'm a royalist, but I do also cover the truth. So for people who don't like that, sure, block your ears. But it does blow open these divisions between King Charles and Prince William, because this is an absolute nightmare for William, who is trying to do his own modernization project, who is trying to think of the repercussions of taking on the British monarchy in an age where actually it's really challenging for a whole load of reasons. And the last thing William wants, Lauren, in fact, the last thing he needs, I mean, he needs Harry here, he needs Meghan here like a hole in the goddamn head. And Harry believes that he can set up a rival court here and do the sort of touchy-feely royal work that he believes William isn't doing. And Charles, by, if you are correct, seemingly nodding this through, is really actually not supporting his eldest son, the heir to the throne, who I believe he should be backing. He doesn't William doesn't need competition on home soil. A very quick but personal message from me to you to let you know that the best way you can support Dan Wootton Outspoken is to subscribe to my Substack at www.outspoken.live. Substack is a free speech platform that protects me from big tech cancellation and lawfare. Paid annual or monthly subscribers get an extra hour of content with the Royal Uncancelled After Show available every weekday with no advertising whatsoever. You can also message me direct on there. That's www.outspoken.live.
Protective over Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, because I love the monarchy, but what I don't love is the lack of transparency with some of them. And I feel that we see Prince William and Catherine constantly doing their best. And they really do choose charities that connect with people. And I think the monarchy under them is going to be incredible. But I don't believe the palace let them do as much as they actually want to do, because every time they do something, we love them. We want to see more of them. It completely overshadows King Charles and Queen Camilla. And that's no criticism to Princess Catherine or Prince William. It's just the fact that we love them. We want to see more of them. But Harry seems to go out of his way every single time to try and rile Prince William. And so let's go back to this point as well. When Harry's security the appeal was denied in May, where did Harry choose to do an exclusive interview with? He chose the BBC. The same BBC that Prince William had gone on camera and on record discussing how they had contributed to their mother's death. That if Panorama hadn't have happened, Diana would still be here. Princess Diana would still be here, because the way the BBC behaved is so abhorrent. It is inhumane, and it led to a spiral for Princess Diana. She felt vulnerable. She couldn't trust anyone. And it is so unbelievably upsetting that both of them don't have their mother here because of that. And so when Harry, I'm always very mindful that we can read into every single thing that Harry does and this and that, but I like to look at the facts. And this to me was a very clear targeted message to rile William. Harry goes out of his way to do this to William day in, day out. And then we've got the palace evidently not letting Prince William do as much as he wants to do, in my opinion, because I know for a fact that when Harry landed in the UK in September, the other royals, there was a no press, don't do too much of this, let's keep them out. And remember, we said on this show, Dan, let the narrative breathe. And so we're all sat going, what is going on? Why are people, have the mainstream media been seeing how Harry has trashed our royal family? Have they seen the same things as us? And that is all done by design.
100%. But Lauren, speaking of media and PR catastrophes involving the British royal family, we have to come to this provable lie from the worst woman in the world, Meghan Markle, over the weekend, who briefed to all of the mainstream media. And Lauren, she did this. Do you remember those beautiful pictures that came out on Friday night of Catherine and William and George and Louis and Charlotte arriving at the Together at Christmas carols service at Westminster Abbey? It is the biggest night for that family of the year. At that exact moment, Lauren, and do not tell me that that was just a coincidence, at that exact moment, Meghan Markle's team, in other words, Meghan Markle, via a paid PR, briefed to every single regime media outlet, every single mainstream media outlet, including the Despicable Sun, by the way, who just was suckered by it under the headline Family First, that she was in communication with her father, Thomas Markle, for the first time, Lauren, in 7 years, after he had his left leg amputated in a Filipino hospital. Now, I smelt a rat very early, and I'm in touch with members of the family, as you know. And I was like, is this true? Has Thomas heard? And by Saturday afternoon, I was able to blow up this narrative that the mainstream media was running with. There was no contact. Thomas had not heard anything. No one at the hospital had heard a single thing, Lauren. So, number one, it was a leak designed to destroy Catherine's big night. To some extent, It worked. That was the first thing. But the second thing was, this was a leak designed to make us think Meghan Markle isn't the most terrible daughter in the world. Because, of course, she loved her daddy. She loved him so much before she met Prince Harry. And at the moment, she's punting a flop Netflix series, which is about Christmas. And she claims it's all a celebration of family. Yet her dad's in a hospital in the Philippines begging to have communication with her. And she hadn't said a thing to him. Now, we then get to the point, Lauren, where her team say, oh, no. She hadn't called at this point. She'd sent an email to an email address, Lauren, that has been dormant for 5 years while Thomas Markle was in intensive care. And anyone who knows even the basics about intensive care knows that if you're an 81-year-old man in intensive care, you have no access to your phone. So we'll get to how this unraveled in the days to come. But first and foremost, was this just a stunt on Friday night that Meghan thought would sort of fool us?
I think 100%, in my professional opinion, she went out of her way to try and dominate and to just take everything away from Catherine, Princess of Wales, that she could. And this is what makes me so cross. I've always said as well that PRs with Meghan don't work, and they don't work with Meghan because Meghan doesn't listen. And so this is a disaster in briefing gone wrong. Meghan, evidently, I don't need to know what's going on inside Meghan's house with the PR. I can see the proof's in the pudding. Meghan micromanages everything within an inch of her life. So you get such a disjointed leak coming out. And so in her mind, I think she would have gone, well, I can say that because I did reach out. There was she didn't want to reach out. This is because she's in damage limitation mode, coupled with the fact that she wants to ruin Catherine's big night. And that is disgusting. But we see it time and time again with Meghan, don't we, Dan? I mean, she has no end to the depths she will go to try and ruin things for Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales. And that's why, as
Mm.
well, when the palace don't protect Catherine, that's why we get so irate as well, because I don't feel like there's a level of protection there for her. You know, the mainstream media are so awful that they don't question these things. They just go, "Oh yeah, is that it? Right, fine. We'll write that then, shall we?"
It's
They don't
disgraceful.
care about facts. They just want clicks and money.
It's disgraceful because it was completely not true. And of course, Thomas's other two children are disgusted, completely disgusted. This is what Thomas Markle Jr., who remember is in the Philippines with his father, had to say. But first, we've been told our whole lives that wrinkle creams were the easiest way to look younger. Now, one doctor says that's nothing but old news. According to Dr. John Lake, the world-renowned Beverly Hills beauty expert, most wrinkle fixes on the market are nothing but glorified moisturizers. He says they hardly make a dent on your appearance. Some can even be harmful to your skin. Now, recently, Dr. Lake has focused his attention away from mainstream cosmetic practices. Why? Well, so that he can pursue a revolutionary anti-aging breakthrough, one that some experts say could empty the wallets of the cosmetic industry. He says it's almost like Photoshop for your face, and you may even be mad after seeing how easy it is to visibly erase your wrinkles from view. His personal clients have dubbed his new do-it-yourself technique the age rewinder method because it can take years or even decades off your appearance in under 2 minutes. In light of this amazing breakthrough, Dr. Lake has released a step-by-step video to the public, free and uninterrupted, where he outlines exactly how to use this simple solution from home. And he says if it even helps one person look younger or feel more confident, he will be thrilled knowing he helped. The video has since gone viral. At first, it was shared by users on Facebook, but since then, it's racked up over 2.3 million views and counting. So far, the comments and feedback have been outstanding, with thousands of women reporting they look decades younger. One viewer commented, "Best results of anything I've used. I can't believe how well this works. I'll never stop using this. I don't understand how it works, but the results are great. Thank you." So you can find out more about this yourself right now. Go to bhmd1.com/outspoken or click on the link in the description box below. That's bhmd1.com/outspoken. Now, there is one thing that Dr. Lake asks from his viewers. If watching this video helps you look and feel younger than you have in years, then please share this video with your friends and loved ones. Together, we have the power to help as many women reclaim a youthful look as possible. So go watch the video at bhmd1.com/outspoken right now, or just click on the link in the description box below. But now, back to the show.
Knowing my father's phone number, right? It hasn't changed for 15 years. It's the same phone number, right? You have not reached out.
And Samantha Markle, good friend of mine, Meghan's half-sister, but Thomas's daughter, posted, "While talk is cheap, so you can believe it, if she and Harry put that on a private jet and into the best medical care in the United States, until then, it's just PR bullshit. Exactly, unless they prove intent with action and put them in the best possible medical care. There's no other way to slice this apple. Talk wouldn't help anything right now. When he heals a little bit, he should be on a plane into one of the best hospitals in the United States. Let's see Harry and Meg step up to the plate." And she then said, "Planes come in handy for a lot of things." And that's a meme that says GFY Meg, go fuck yourself, Meg. And she added, "And if bitch face," I guess that's what it is, tries to see dad, she will be searched for recording devices and wires. Don't you think you can get near dad for a photo op for Netflix or anyone else? Let's just clear that up, front blocked at the pass. And I actually think she's totally fair enough to point that out, Lauren, because what Samantha and Thomas Markle Jr. don't want is for their father to be used now for another PR stunt by Meghan Markle. So I think Samantha certainly is open to Thomas having a conversation with his other daughter. I mean, she doesn't want to deprive him of that, but she wants to ensure that Meghan is not going to use this for publicity purposes. But of course, over the weekend, it was actually Meghan's team who then decided to brief that they didn't want Meghan to call the phone because they thought the conversation could be hacked or recorded by Thomas Markle. And they even went on to claim, Lauren, that the Mail on Sunday, via its reporter Caroline Graham, who is also friends with Thomas Markle, that they were puppeteering the whole thing.
What planet does Meghan live on? And this is the problem. She is taking advice from people who have nothing to do with this. This is a family issue. And they're coming from the point of view that, oh, the other side could take the call, do this, and get in there before us. This is awful. This man is lying in hospital. This should not be played out publicly, but we see it being played out publicly because Meghan is trying to dominate the narrative. She's trying to go into damage limitation mode. She has a Netflix series that's come out, or a spin-off show that's obviously the last bit. Netflix are probably delighted and all sleeping well now it's over. But it's all about family. It's all about Christmas. And so it is a PR disaster that her father is in intensive care, has tragically lost his leg, and she's not speaking to him. And so this is what they do. They go, no, 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 no. She did reach out, absolutely. And then, she didn't reach out. It was an old email. And Dan, we're living in a time where if Meghan Markle had for any reason lost her father's number, she could get hold of it.
Oh, of course she
really
could. Just call him up. You know how to do that. Just call him up. But instead, what she's doing is playing silly buggers with this back and forth briefing going on, because once the Sunday Times ran their lies from her side, of course, the Daily Mail then responded. We'll get to that in 1 second. But we then got this ludicrous briefing from Meghan Markle's aides that she was sitting there, Lauren, phoning up the hospitals in the Philippines. Where's my dad? Where's my dad? Now, we know that's not true. We know that's not true because everyone knows which hospital Thomas Markle is in. She doesn't need to call all of these hospitals. We know which hospital he is in. So again, this was batshit bonkers briefing. But let me take you through it to the Daily Telegraph that wrote, the Duchess's aides have now made clear that if he is willing to share a different address, or if the Mail on Sunday will share contact information for Mr. Markle, she will reach out. Now, that's interesting, isn't it? The term reach out. It's not saying that she's going to phone him. Maybe she'll send a text message, I guess. It is understood that the tabloid has so far not answered requests to send her aides a number or email address for her father, or inform them of which hospital he is currently receiving treatment in. Mr. Markle is also reportedly not in possession of his phone, and sources suggested even with the correct number, it would be extraordinarily impossible for Meghan to leave a voicemail in light of Prince Harry's experience with phone hacking. But the Daily Mail hit back, Lauren. A spokesperson for DMG Media, which owns the Mail on Sunday, said, our journalist Caroline Graham has had a close relationship with Mr. Markle since 2018. He contacted Ms. Graham when he was taken ill and asked her to travel to the Philippines to be with him. Nothing has been published without his specific consent and that of his son. Ms. Graham has confirmed to the Duchess of Sussex's representative that Mr. Markle does not have an active email address, but that his phone number, which the Duchess has previously used for him, remains unchanged. Ms. Graham has made clear that if she can do anything to facilitate contact between Mr. Markle and his daughter to have a conversation, then she would be happy to do so. That remains the case. Any suggestion we have puppeteered Mr. Markle is entirely false and strongly denied. Lauren, who's right there?
Do you know what I think? I think Meghan Markle's team are advising her that if she does get in contact, that obviously the text or the email could end up in the public domain. It would not surprise me to see something so nauseating, so fake, and so highly curated by Meghan, like we've seen before when it ends up in the public domain. On the fact of the Daily Mail, you know, that journalist has had a very close relationship with Thomas Markle. The fact that it's now being said that they've been puppeteering things and orchestrating things. I read that piece yesterday. I really don't believe that journalist has done that. I think there is a genuine friendship. The journalist has spoken about him being a father figure to her, him being there when she lost a parent. This journalist is in very regular contact with Thomas Markle, and I don't believe it's a transactional friendship. It does read very much like that there is a private friendship there and he is a father figure to her. Of course, Meghan will absolutely hate that.
Now, Lauren, GB News was covering this story on Saturday, and it all went disastrously wrong. Let's watch this.
Hello, can someone come in? I've just broken my thing. I'm not joking. Hello? Hello and welcome to GB News The Weekend. I'm Dawn Neeson. This is GB News Now. If you are in search of some holiday sun... no, sorry, that's not what we're doing. Okay, welcome back to The Weekend with me, Dawn Neeson. Now, Meghan Markle has allegedly reached out to her father after reports he had his leg amputated following surgery in the Philippines. Meghan has been estranged from her dad, Thomas Markle, since her 2018 wedding, after he was caught staging paparazzi photos in the run-up to the big day. Well, joining me now is role commentator and author Ingrid Seward. Ingrid, good to see you. Thank you very much for joining me. Ingrid, what do you make of this story?
Well, I don't think Meghan had any choice except to reach out, which I suppose in English is get in touch with her father. It would have looked terrible if she hadn't.
Poor Ingrid Seward there of Majesty Magazine, Lauren. She's like, what is going on?
That clip is amazing. I watched it about 5 times over the weekend. I couldn't believe it. I just don't understand. Why does Dawn Neeson use a completely different voice to present with? She's completely different when she's fumbling around with her mic, and then you see her sit down and go really deep like this. It's just ridiculous.
Yes, it does say a lot about GB News, doesn't it, Lauren? Also, Lauren, oh my God, I haven't seen this yet. So can we watch this together for the first time? I have recorded a new episode of the Disruptors podcast with the brilliant Rob Moore. It's actually my 3rd appearance on his podcast. And that's a bit of an honor, actually, because not many people get, the multiple call-ups. So I hope this episode doesn't tank. It has just dropped on YouTube on Rob Moore's Disruptors page. So, of course, after this episode of Outspoken, please go and watch it. But I haven't watched the trailer yet. Could we watch it together, Lauren? And let's hope I haven't made a fool of myself. Okay, let's watch. Media, I remain cancelled by the mainstream media. To me, that's great now.
No spin, no bias, no censorship.
In that journey, are you saying a lot of the news wasn't properly reported?
We're not being told the whole truth.
Is it that bad, though?
No, I think it's actually worse.
Ooh.
I have been mugged twice in Sadiq Khan's London. Slippery Starmer currently has unbridled power. He is more unpopular than any Prime Minister in history ever.
What you think about Gary Neville saying that the problem is middle-aged white men?
It's also his fault.
Sorry, Gary.
I'm a free speech absolutist. We've got to have these conversations.
But you're not scared?
That's not democracy.
And what do you think of Tommy Robinson?
Well, I mean...
What do you really think about the digital ID?
Is the start of a social credit system.
In your 20 years of journalism, what's been the most shocking thing you've discovered?
The most shocking thing that I discovered was that... Is that enough of a tease, Lauren? Would you watch that?
Yes, definitely. I think as well, Dan, it's good to remind viewers as well that you've been in really unique positions. Not only have you edited newspapers and been at the very, very top of the chain, but you've presented other news channels and you've been in the industry a long time. And so you are able to cut through all of the BS and actually deliver people the news that they deserve. And you are steadfast and unwavering in your commitment to do that. So I will definitely be watching this interview.
Thank you, Lauren. It is available now, The End of Freedom, on Rob Moore Disruptors YouTube channel. And of course, Lauren, the Insider, has lots of other great content available too, including a brand new look into what's going on between King Charles and the Church of England in regards to this Tommy Robinson event next weekend, which Lauren will be covering for Urban Scoop. So Lauren, the Insider, always love having you. Thank you so much for being here today. And we will reveal today's Greatest Britain Union Jackass in just one moment. But first, I want to get to your comments because we've had a lot of them coming in throughout the show today. Thank you for that. Nick Monk 1098 says, Joey Barton should apply for political asylum in the US. The more high-profile people who do this, like Graham Linehan, the better. Very good idea. Douglas Alderton says, nice to see Lauren and Susan on your show. They talk sense. Against animal abuse, said Susan is brilliant at City Hall Conservatives, as are all of her colleagues. I love the way Sadiq Khan stutters and avoids eye contact, and his answers when he does answer is, I don't have the figures or the paperwork on me. Joy Cutner says, why does Starmer hug Zelensky so tightly? Will he be giving Zelensky another £2 billion check like he did earlier this year? Yoda says, right, they're getting away with it because you were fucking letting them get away with it. Stand up for your country. Yes, Yoda, I love that passion. Absolutely, you're completely right. MB Electrical Services says, we are living in some sort of Truman Show world. I'm convinced of it. Nothing at all is as it appears. Very odd. And Susie Perry says, Tucker Carlson's show is brilliant. He's such a free thinker and he's friends with Mark Stein, who is my favourite independent commentator. Mark Stein is an absolutely brilliant man. As you know, I'm a big, big friend and ally of his. Okay, a reminder of your Union Jackass nominees. Angela Rayner, nominated by The Grift Report because she is set to reject a job offer from the PM and launch a joint ticket with Streeting to plot a solo bid for number 10 Downing Street. Jackie Smith, nominated by Sharon Scott 668 for being a sourpuss who had the audacity to deny the government is delaying the grooming gang inquiry. And Femi Olawale, nominated by Matt Cass 48 for being desperate, unemployed, and a Zach Polanski supporter. Okay, your results are in. In third position with 8% of the vote, Baroness Jackie Smith. The runner-up with 16% of the vote, Femi Olawale. But your overwhelming choice for the worst Britain in the world today with 77% of the vote, it is Angela Rayner. And I've got someone very special to celebrate as Greatest Britain today. She actually has a lot to do with this show. She's a big, huge help to me behind the scenes, and she's a big part of getting Outspoken to air every day. So I hope you'll take this moment for me to pay tribute to the woman who has been by my side as my gorgeous little sister now for 40 years. Yes, Ash Wootton. We have been so close for our entire life. We're a very, very tight family. And yeah, we've gone through it all. But never, ever, ever has our love and support for each other wavered. And certainly from a personal perspective, there is no one in my life who has my back more than my sister Ash. And especially when I was going through the mill and being taken through the mill through my cancellation campaign, Ash was just a steadfast rock for me. She's so proud of her. And I'm so proud to see her become the mum she is today too, to my niece, Ivy Dan. And that was my first meeting with Ivy Dan after being locked out of New Zealand by that awful Jacinda Ardern for all of those years. But I won't get political when I am paying tribute to my sister. So Ash, I love you so much. Have an incredible 40th birthday. Thank you for everything you do for us here on Outspoken.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.